Hello, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today, a show with no cavities. On today's show, we have Ben Pace, Kelly McKee, and Dr. Laura Lewis. It's going to be one to watch.
All right, so you're looking to make a career decision that's crazy smart and won't break the bank. Then let's start with tuition guarantee and a home field advantage. That's Meridian Community College, and we're changing the game. We've got heavy metal drilling and saving lives. Or how about building a rover that could drive on Mars? We're more than grades in a classroom. We're your Red Bull monster shot of knowledge that will help you own that next job. This is not just the 13th year. It's the gateway to your entire career. Are you ready for more? Well, the eagle has landed. Find your wings.
Hello everybody, and today we have Miss Kelly McKee, who's one of my favorite people in the world. Now I say that a lot, but she truly is because we work together in the Success Center. Right. You work in the English part, in the lab of the Success Center, but today you're here to specifically talk about one thing, which is the QEP.
Right. For
Meridian Community College. What is a QEP?
Okay, a QEP is the Quality Enhancement Plan. And it is a plan that we do every 5 years, dedicated to improving student learning and success.
Okay.
And implementing a QEP is a requirement of SACS COC, which for those of you who don't know, that stands for Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges.
Yay.
So it just has to do with our accreditation.
Okay. And why is accreditation important? Isn't that because the accreditation deals with students being able to take classes and they transfer to other colleges, but it also has to do with federal student loans and aid and stuff like that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And we want to make sure that we are accredited and we hold high standards and that we are doing something that is improving student success.
Okay. So where are we in our QEP plan right now?
All right. Well, I'm here today representing the QEP Research Committee.
Okay.
And this committee was formed to research potential topics.
Okay.
And after much research and meeting and discussing and examining different topics, we have narrowed it down to two.
Okay.
And those are, the first one is called Mentoring, Connecting, Completing. And the second one is called Professionalism and Students.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about each? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would like to do that. If the mentoring QEP is selected, the college would implement a structured mentoring program to mentor at-risk students.
Okay.
And with the goal of improving retention and graduation rates. Now, students identified as at-risk would be those with low college entrance test scores, ACT, and so forth, students eligible for Pell Grants, and first-generation college students.
Okay.
So what the program would do is allow those at-risk students to meet regularly with a counselor or some form of mentor, and they would discuss progress in their classes, opportunities for tutoring, and then the mentor would follow up and see if they did go get the tutoring and if it was successful, if it helped them in their class. Kind of just help those students navigate through, particularly their first semester of college.
Okay. And then the other one?
The other one is Professionalism and Students. And if this one is selected, what we would do is take a course that is currently offered. It was part of a Phi Theta Kappa college project last year. But what we would do, and it's called Employment Readiness. And we would offer that class to a broader range of students and then maybe incorporate a pre and post test to show improvement. And that course covers things like interview skills, resume writing, even email etiquette, which could help students not only in their professional life when they enter their career, but also help with interaction between students and faculty. So it would help them, you know, with their communication with their instructors. It would help them even during their college career.
And you're on today because we're talking about the QEP, but this has been a process that y'all have been a part of for quite a while now.
Yes.
And you started out getting your topics and then narrowing it down to these 2 topics.
Exactly.
And we got input from students, faculty, the community.
Well, we are going. That's our next step.
Okay.
That's our next step.
Okay. How were these topics determined?
These topics, there was actually another committee before the research committee.
Okay.
They spent, I'm not exactly sure when the process started, but I know they met for months and discussed and looked at several possible topics, and then they presented us with 2 main topics that each had several subtopics, and then we researched and narrowed down to these 2.
Okay. So where do we go from here?
Okay, from here, we want to allow MCC stakeholders, students, faculty, staff, and the community to vote on one of these 2 topics.
Okay.
And the voting link will open soon on our MCC website and on Facebook. So we wanted to make sure, I wanted to come on here and let everybody know a little bit about each topic so you could make an informed decision when you vote.
Now, when we decide on these topics, then for the next few years, we're going to be implementing.
Correct.
And then we have to see how well we did
with
it, right?
Right. We'll start out, for example, if we're looking at retention rates with the mentoring program. We would look at what our retention rates are prior to implementing the program, and then we would look at after a semester, after a year, after another semester, how much those have improved.
Okay.
And then of course with the professionalism QEP, we would be looking at pre and post test scores.
Okay. Now, as far as the SACS COC is concerned, they're basically looking at, they don't want us to like rest on our laurels, and we're constantly trying to improve.
Yes, that's the whole point, is to anything we can do to improve student learning and success. And I failed to mention, but these are topics that other colleges have done something similar to these and have had success.
Okay.
So we want to, you know, that was part of the research process, to see what other people are doing, did it work, and we want to do something that's going to help our students succeed and improve. So that's why we narrowed it down to these 2.
And I find it interesting with SACS that it's not just about the success too, but sometimes you try something that doesn't necessarily work. Correct. And we have to report that as well and say, we did this, we tried it, it didn't work, we're going to try something else now.
That's true.
So they're constantly, they're not looking, you know, that, hey, oh, this is just a wonderful success, which we all want constantly, but they're, you know, if it doesn't go as well as you thought it would, or exactly like you thought it would, they're interested in that as well.
And that's how it is with anything. You know, we want our students to know that too, that you have to try something to see how well it works. And, you know, but we are just required by SACS to implement a QEP.
Okay.
We hope that it will show improvement.
Yes.
But we have to implement one whether it shows improvement or not.
Well, listen, Kelly, thank you for being here today, and I do want to have you back on when the link opens.
Okay.
So we can talk about this again and how important it is and how we want to get as much input as we possibly can.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Become essential at Meridian Community College. Our community is changing, and at MCC, we are built for those who want to serve. Being essential has kept our community going. You can become that here, all at an affordable cost. Whether you dream of helping people through healthcare services or want to transport goods, connecting people with the products they need, we have many unique opportunities to help you find your purpose. Don't wait for change. Be the difference and register today. Become essential at Meridian Community College.
And we have Mr. Ben Pace, who is one of our college navigators at Meridian Community College. Welcome.
It's good to be here.
Now, you have been employed here at Meridian Community College how long now?
Just over a month.
Okay, and how's everything going?
So I'm loving it. It's a great experience, and it's great to come to work every day.
Now, as a college navigator, what exactly does a navigator do?
Well, a navigator just helps students be successful, is what I just narrow it down to. College can be a changing time in a person's life, and a navigator is just here to make it that easier for a student. And it's a great job to have because we just get to plug students up with resources that they need to help them finish and stay on track and become what they dream to be.
Now, I know that because a lot of times y'all will send students to the Student Success Center to get tutoring if they need to, but you also call them to see, hey, how's everything going? Because as a teacher, we flag students, if they haven't been to class, if, other things are issues perhaps, and you kind of follow up. How do you do that? Are you just call them, email them?
We just first call them. We try to just touch base with a phone call first, and
Okay.
Most of the time we get through. Sometimes we get a voicemail, and then we just try to follow up with a text message or something later on, just to kind of make sure we get in touch with them and make sure that they feel that we're trying to reach them. And of course, we don't want to hound them, but we want them to feel that we care about them and we want them to succeed. And here at MCC.
Well, you know what, I think, and I say this in my first day of class every time, it's like I think communication is the key. It is so important. If you're not there, if something's going on, let us know. Let somebody know, because there might be resources available to help you, but also it helps to let the teacher know, to let others know, so in case you're not there, that you will be back.
That's right. I've told a lot of students over the past month that just make sure you talk with your instructor, because they can get everything straightened out. They just want to communicate and form that dialogue, and so that's the number one thing I tell them every time I call them usually.
Now, you and Shaquita, the other navigator, y'all have a series called the Survivor Series, and that's already started, hasn't it? You've already had one or two things.
One. It started about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
And we started it through Canvas. Okay. Our first focus was untangling the web. We wanted to help our students with managing Canvas, email, and just helping them, especially with everything being so online now,
yes.
with everything going on. So we partnered with our e-learning lab, Miss Holly Purvis, and she created a video that helps explain the ins and outs of Canvas, our learning
management system. Yes.
And she did a great video, and we made a little short quiz to go with that video. And so we offered, as an incentive, we're offering that if the student watches the video and takes the quiz, they can be eligible to receive bonus or seminar points if they're instructor approved. That's the key.
Yeah.
But we want to give.
You can't just say you get points.
Right. We want to give that opportunity if the instructor approves.
Okay.
So it's going great. We've had over 100 people watch the video and take the quiz so far. So it's a really good number, and we're wanting more. And I'm gonna break some news. We're going to try to do a big prize for someone who does each session of the Survivor Series.
Okay, so they have to do each session and the
session.
quiz
And the
associated
quiz.
with each session.
Right.
Okay.
And we'll enter them into a drawing, and then we'll draw out a name, and they'll win a big prize.
Okay.
And we have some exciting new topics to come up too also.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you do any of the videos, or do you get people to do the videos typically, or?
Right now we're just getting people. I think me and Shaquita may do some ourselves.
Okay.
On in the semester.
Okay.
But we're also going to, with this current one we've got now with Untangling the Web, we're going to do a Q&A session on the 9th of September for anyone who has questions, other questions that weren't covered in the video.
Okay, excellent.
So with Miss Holly Purvis and Mr. Michael Fontenot, David Fontenot,
yes.
David Fontenot of our EagleNet administrator. So that'll be a very good time to get those questions answered if they have any.
Well, I find so often students, especially when they're new students coming in, that they don't know who to ask.
Right.
That's why I think it's so important. I'm so glad that we have the Navigator program up and running, so that at least they have a face and they have somebody that can call or email and say, look, this is happening and I don't know what to do about it. And I think with especially nowadays with the COVID and all the stuff, the changes that are occurring very fast, you know, you have to be kind of at the center of it, kind of saying, okay, look, this is what we're doing right now, this is how we do it. Now you take half the alphabet, am I correct in that? So which part of the alphabet do you get?
I've got M through Z.
Okay. Okay, so those are the people you're responsible for. If their last name starts with M through Z.
Right.
Okay. And then when do you actually start contacting people? Is it almost immediately, or
I try to do it almost immediately as soon as they're flagged. Sometimes we get several at one time, and it may take me a little longer, but I try to get to them as soon as I can because.
But it doesn't stop in the semester either. I mean, it's like you continue trying to connect with students all semester long.
Right. That's just try to make sure you maintain that relationship and friendship and communication, and just helping students just know that they're cared for and that we want them to succeed.
Well, now Shaquita's a good friend of mine, so I just want to know, how's working with her? Now you can tell me, no, but trust me, ignore the cameras.
She's great. She's great. She's been a great mentor and showing me all the great things that we're doing here at MCC, and it's been great. And I'm excited to work with her.
She is very concerned about the students. She is very concerned about their welfare. You couldn't ask for a better person to mentor you.
I noticed that on day one. So
oh gosh, yes. She is, and she's the one I think that came up with the original Survivor series, I believe.
I think so. She's
a couple of years ago.
That's a great program, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So.
Well, now, so have you enjoyed MCC so far? Everything's going well for you?
I've loved it. From the first time I stepped on campus a month ago, I just felt the family atmosphere, and that's what means a lot to me, and I want to contribute to that and make other students feel like that, and I want to, just help them in any way I can to succeed and be successful.
Okay. Well, listen, I would thank you for being here today, and I want to get you back on to talk some more about the Survivor Series and possibly anything else coming up, and even the big prize that we have coming up, hopefully, okay?
That's right.
We'll be right back.
Are you searching for something new? Then Meridian Community College is the place for you. With over 52 career and technical pathways, you can move straight into the workforce in 2 years or less. Get hands-on experience in welding and electrical technology, or go digital in graphic design and media production. You'll discover many opportunities for a new career at a fraction of the cost. Reskill now. Become essential at Meridian Community College. Register today at meridiancc.edu.
We have Dr. Laura Lewis here today. I'm thrilled that you are here.
I'm always excited to be here.
One of my favorite people in the world, and
Thank
you know
you.
that.
Yes, you're mine.
Well, thank you, thank you. Now, we do a radio show together.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Health.
Your Health with Dr. Lauren Lowell, and I still don't know why I'm on there, but okay.
I know why you're on there. People listen to you, not me.
Well, you know your stuff. You have a lot of knowledge about nutrition and about health and about exercise, and that's basically what we wanted to talk about today is nutrition and health and exercise in the COVID world that we live in for the next however long we're going to live in it.
I think my main concern is prevention. You
Sure.
know. And right now we know that many people who have issues with COVID are people who already have underlying conditions. And so that is our main focus right now as health prevention specialists, is that we want to make sure that people are staying healthy and remaining healthy and preventing this from actually happening.
Okay.
Staying healthy, keeping the immune system up. And we do that through
And
exercise.
what would some pointers be for keeping the immune system up? Because I know diet's important.
Diet's
exercise
very
is important.
Yes.
Okay, so what should we be doing?
Well, the first thing I would say, which people neglect, would be sleep, technically. But
That's one of the first things that's literally one of the first things that go when people see that they don't have enough time for stuff, or that they don't, they'll say, well, they don't sleep.
They
and
don't
that's one of the
sleep.
most important things.
That's exactly right. And so I would like to encourage people to try to get better sleep, number one. And a lot of times the reason why they're not getting sleep is because they're stressed or anxious. And we know that having COVID around has caused a lot of that. So.
Yes.
One of the other things that we can start doing is exercise, and you and I have talked about that a lot,
Yes.
especially here lately.
Yes.
So exercising would be the first thing that I would say. If you can't change your sleeping pattern right off the bat, I know that exercise is something you can start right now. So right now, I want you to get down and give me 10 push-ups.
Okay.
Threw you off, didn't I?
And no. But, okay. Thank you so much. Yes, I agree with you as far as exercise is concerned.
Yeah.
I think that it is very important. And when you have a lot of nervous energy going in your body, it needs to come out in a healthy way.
Right.
And,
Absolutely.
you know, and so instead of you getting mad and slamming a door, go exercise a little bit.
Exercise.
It is so important.
Especially guys.
Okay, and it does help with your sleep patterns too.
It does.
You know, if you get in the habit of getting a good night's sleep, it affects so much else.
Absolutely. And I say guys, but women really need to do more resistance training. And I've noticed a lot of women are more fearful of doing resistance training because they think that if I do all these big bulky weights, they're going to get real big and bulky. And I'm just going to tell you right now, that is absolutely not true. I've been doing this a very long time. I lift a lot of weight, and I haven't really gotten terribly big.
I have witnessed this. Yes, you do, and you're not. No.
But I want to make sure that people are aware that that is not what happens. What happens is you do build lean muscle tissue, and you're able to burn more body fat, and your body can handle stress a little bit better.
Well, now for someone who has been sitting around and eating a lot that they probably shouldn't have, and eating not because they're hungry, but because they're bored.
Yeah.
How do you get started? What would you
Well,
suggest to get started?
The first thing I would say is make a plan.
Okay.
Write it down. I know that sounds a little cliche, but writing it out and actually making a plan would be the first step. The second step would be to determine which days out of the week you could actually exercise. Because exercise doesn't have to be a very long, lengthy process in the beginning. It can be very short. You could do 20-minute bouts 3 days a week, and that could be, the first step towards reaching some of your smaller goals. The second thing I would suggest is start looking at what you're taking in as far as your diet goes. How much water are you drinking versus soda pop? Those are some small things that you can do right now to make big changes later on.
I found that because I stopped drinking any kind of sugared drinks, whether it be tea or anything else, and I find now that I don't want them.
Yeah,
I would rather drink
absolutely,
water with a
absolutely.
meal or whatever. Used to, I could not do that, but now I'm like, I don't want anything else but water.
What you
I drink
eat
water
is
or
what you
unsweet
crave.
tea.
Yeah,
Yes.
what you eat is what you crave.
And I also find that, and I say this to myself all the time, I'm like, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry, I'm bored.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
don't
we
need
eat
to
out of
be
boredom.
eating this. I'm not hungry right
Absolutely. We eat out of boredom. We eat out of stress.
now. Okay.
We eat when we're sleep deprived. So there's a lot of reasons why people eat.
Well, now, as far as exercise, and you're starting to exercise, what would you say for someone who has not exercised in a while or ever, and they are ready to do something?
Okay.
You okay? And what would you recommend for them
I
to
would
start
recommend
with?
starting out with low impact exercising, such as walking.
Okay.
And if you aren't able to walk, there are other things you can do, like biking. If you have the ability to use a recumbent bike or a spin bike, things of that nature, or even go for a walk in a swimming pool. A lot of people don't think that when you go to a pool, you have to actually know how to swim. Not true. You can always get on one of those little noodles and do some bicycle exercises, but doing things that are lower impact and then working your way up to things, if you want to, run or jog, you can do those things, but you don't have to do those things. I want people to understand that you don't have to run to meet physical fitness goals. Does that make sense?
It does.
And
Well, if someone is exercising, you don't need to exercise. The first few times you're exercising, you don't need to do it for 40 minutes or an hour each time.
correct.
You need to start out small.
Absolutely.
Because I remember growing up 50 million years ago, and they were talking about no pain, no gain, or
Totally wrong.
Feel the burn, or feel
Right.
the And later on, we found out that that we're probably doing some damage.
Yeah, you don't want to ever hurt. I think that it's okay to reach a point of feeling the burn per se, but you don't want to ever get to a point where you're actually hurting. And the further in you get to exercising and learning your body, the more you're going to recognize those things. So starting out with some light resistance training, you could do light weights, 5-pound dumbbells, 10-pound dumbbells,
Okay.
and doing some exercises like bicep curls, tricep extensions, lateral raises.
how I got
Maybe we
these
can show you.
arms.
Yeah. So maybe we can show you some of those sometime on the show. We'll see. But there are things you can do if you don't have dumbbells. You can do calisthenic work,
Okay.
which is using your own body weight for resistance. So squats, lunges, things of that nature, push-ups.
So if you can't afford to go to a gym, you don't need a gym
You
necessarily.
do not need a gym.
Okay,
And we actually learned that during COVID lockdown. You know, I was able to exercise at my house. Now, of course, I personally didn't feel like I was getting the same type of workout, but I was still exercising
Sure.
and meeting those health goals.
I remember at one point thinking, because I tried to do where you jump on, you know, you do those jumps where you jump on.
Oh, the box jumps.
Box jumps, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell I do them a lot. But I was sitting there one day going, I can't do any of these. Oh, darn. And then I looked over and I'm like, you know, there's our fireplace. And, and I'm like, oh, okay, I could do that.
Yeah, or step-ups, you know.
And I have literally witnessed you in the gym. And when I just want to say, you want to talk about somebody in a zone. When she is exercising.
Don't mess with me.
You are,
when I'm exercising.
She is in a zone, and
People know.
puts me to shame.
No.
But no, you really are one of the most focused people I know.
Yeah, and I've learned, this is something that I'll never forget. Time is short, and I wasted a lot of years of my life not doing the things that I really wanted to do. And I know what my goals are, and I think once you realize what your goals are, you just need to, you know, have stickability. Do it. Just keep on working towards it, and do not stop.
Right.
Be consistent.
But you know, also I think, and I think sometimes if you do, you know, you do have your plan, and you happen not to do exactly what you're supposed to on that plan, don't kick yourself too much. Just get back on your plan.
Absolutely. I'll tell you a secret.
Okay.
Last night I didn't stick to my diet.
Uh-oh. What
Yeah.
did you eat?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that. Are you kidding? I'm not going to tell you all my secrets.
Okay.
But today, guess what? I've got my meals ready. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Hopping back on the wagon and not looking back. Going to keep on rolling.
I want to have you back on. I want to talk about this some more, because you know how much I love you, and
Yeah.
I think it's very important
Maybe
to know
we can
about
work.
exercise and
I
stuff.
think so too. I'm excited, and let me know when. I'll be here.
Okay. We'll be right back.
With so much uncertainty in our world, we are thankful for the heart and determination of those who have followed their calling in healthcare. They work tirelessly on the front lines every day to make a true difference in our community. At Meridian Community College, we take pride in training these heroes and are grateful for their service in this time of great need. These eagles found their wings at Meridian Community College.
On behalf of executive producer Matt Milner, media consultant Josh Taylor, and student producer Colton Albritton, we want to thank you for watching. Hope you learned something.